And welcome back to the Dominique Chantel Show, where I am helping you heal yourself, grow yourself, and love yourself. So, listen, I'm not going to waste any time, but I do want you to go ahead and follow me on all social media platforms at I am Dominique Chantel on Instagram, at YouTube, Dominique Chantel TV, and then also on Facebook at Dominique Chantel. So I am so excited with this series. We are talking about part two, how to soar through life's biggest storms. This is part two. If you haven't already, go over to the YouTube and check out part one. We talked about the three ways how you can soar through life's biggest storms, the first three ways. And now I'm about to talk about the last four. And so let's go ahead and hop on over into the episode because I don't want to waste your time. I do want to honor and acknowledge, though, my Beat Break Radio people, my Vibe 101 FM people, also those who are looking, coming in, streaming in from Honey TV on the Roku app. Thank you so much for coming back here and joining me every Sunday. You can catch your girl Dominique Chantel from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, so I'm so excited and I'm so happy to have you. So let's go ahead and continue what we started last week. So just to review, we said last week, for those of you that were not with me, we said number one, eagles have vision. The way that we make it through life's biggest storms, we have to have vision. Two, eagles are fearless. Three, eagles are tenacious. Next, the fourth part. This is part two. We're going into eagles are high flyers. What does that mean? So, eagles fly alone at a high altitude, or they fly with eagles who are like minded. In 1 Corinthians 15:33, it says, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. That means that your circle, the people that you are running with, the people who you are moving with, they must be as the same mindset, have the same mindset of you. Example, if somebody is negative all the time, always talking about how they can't achieve anything, how they have excuses for anything, let me tell you, that should alert you and should tell you that you should not be hanging around with that person because number one, we got destiny to fulfill. We got purpose to fulfill. We cannot be around negative minded or people who have small minds. Not saying that they're less than us, not judging them, but hey, in this season of my life, I love you, but you cannot be with me during this season because I'm trying to go somewhere. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to, again, fulfill purpose and destiny that God has put inside of me and that dream that's so big that I need him to do it with. And so let me say that you have to put these people, set them aside for a season, right? And have that boundary. And so again, you have to only fly with people who have the same faith, right? The same mindset, the big mindset as you, like you, because people who do not, it can stifle your growth. It can keep you from moving forward. And I think that's a lot sometimes of our problems is that we allow people to come in and tell us, you know, what won't work. We allow people to come in and tell us, oh, you should be doing that, or talk us out of what God has told us to do. So I need you to make sure that you are doing what God has called you to do. That is so important. So let me go ahead and put my mic right here because clearly it was down on my lap, y'all. Sorry about that if you could not hear me. And so we have to be mindful of that. Next, I want to go ahead and finish discussing that point. So check your circle. Know who you're hanging around. Who do you need to remove from your circle during this season? Or who do you need to add to your circle? I know I just finished up a Change Her conference with Pastor Shamika. I go to Change Church, and she was just talking about how we need people in our circle that's going to encourage us. And so, do you have some encouragers in your circle? Do you have some prayers in your circle? We need those people. You need those people in your circle to help you make it through. So, I definitely want to let you know that, at the end of the day, that is what you need. Okay. And so, with that being said, again, if you are looking to establish a circle, I will look to your church family. I will look to your counselors or advisors. I have a community called the High Tribe, the Highly Intentional Tribe. that goes along with the course that I put out there for learning to heal through a divorce or a breakup. And so I just want to say that that's community. And are you pushing, your person or the people that you're in your circle? They should be pushing you forward. You should be pushing them forward. You should be being intentional with healing yourself, growing yourself, and loving yourself. Okay. Listen, the best investment, the best thing, the best person that you will invest in is you yourself. And so it's important that we heal these broken things that are within us, these childhood traumas. We heal these things that happen to us that were not healthy emotionally or physically. Okay. So I just want you to know that. Okay. Let me also, so make sure again that you have community and that you seek out again counselors and advisors. Okay. Next, and I'll go ahead and again, I'll put the link for my high tribe in the video notes. All right. Next, so eagles never eat dead meat. So this was interesting for me. And I was like, okay, God, what does this have to do with us? Why would you compare us to an eagle, right? So eagles are birds at the top of the food chain. And I'm like, why do eagles not eat dead meat? So eagles do not eat dead meat. So here's the thing, excuse me. Eagles do eat dead meat. However, it's dead meat that they've killed. They do not eat other dead meat that other birds have killed. So they aren't scavengers. Okay. And so they don't scavenge. So what does that say about you and me? Scavenger Scavenge means to pick up through what has been discarded or left for dead. So what that told me in my mind is I was like, okay, God, what does that mean for us? It says, may I suggest what that says about you and me is that we should not be looking at the past or what is old or what has already been thrown away. We should be looking at the new opportunities and the new horizon, which is ahead of us. This is so important because we want to look back, and God is saying what you left is no longer important, but what is ahead of you is important. The Bible says in Philippians 3:13-14, brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. So, so important. So I want you to keep that in mind. Again, do not eat dead meat. Do not hang around people that are just, again, things are just barren and not living in their lives. And God even tells us, the fruit, right? You know the tree by its fruit. So we can inspect people. We know by their character, like, okay, you're somebody that's negative, or maybe you're somebody who makes up excuses all the time. Okay, I do not need to be around you, or I need to let you go again, and I need to move on. We need to press toward the mark. Okay. Next, eagles possess vitality. Eagles possess vitality. Give me just a moment. I am actually about to take this off of the screen. Okay. All right. Let me get back to my notes here. All right. Eagles possess vitality. So this one was a whole word by itself. What does vitality mean, Dominique? Vitality means a capacity to live and develop. Again, vitality means the capacity to live and develop. In order for us to live, we have to be willing to develop into something that we've never been before, a better version of ourselves, or the most authentic version of yourself. The goal is to get to the most authentic version of you, who God created you to be. That's how you get to your calling and your purpose. When you are thriving, when you are peeling back the layers to your most authentic self, that's who God can bless, because he can't bless nobody that's faking and trying to be somebody else. He can bless, though, the most authentic version of you. And so physical and mental vigor, especially when highly developed, It's vigor. That's what vitality also means. And so I had to go and look up the word vigor. God, what do you mean by vigor? It's active strength or energy in body and in mind. And so what is that? That says that you are strong, your energy in your body and in your mind. So what that means is we need to be strengthening our minds as well. So my question to you is, what are you doing to make your mind stronger? What are you listening to? Who are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you looking at? What are you seeing? This is important if we are going to withstand the storms of life. If we're going to make it through life's biggest storms, we can't be allowing mess to enter our minds and infiltrate our hearts and our spirits. I like to listen to some ratchet music sometimes, but during certain seasons of my life, I cannot always be going to the turn up, the lit music, okay? Because it doesn't allow me to, number one, worship the way I need to, right? Because worship is my weapon. Whenever I'm going through, I've learned that worship is my true weapon. It allows me to have that intimate moment with God. And for me, I just can't do it with the lit, music. Maybe you can, but I just can't. Okay. And so I allow myself to listen to worship music to usher me into the presence of God, or to lead me into a prayer, or to help me throughout my day. If I'm going through, if I'm not having a great day, if I'm having a bad day, I've learned that we have to take assessment of what we're looking at, who's feeding us, what friends we have around us, family members we have around us, if we're going to make it through life's biggest storms. Come on now. Anybody with me? Because what happens is we begin, again, it goes back to your circle. We begin to be and reflect our circle, the people who are around us, the music that we listen to, the things that we take in and see. And so it's so important for you to be reading something that spiritually uplifts you. Just like when we're working out, when we're working our bodies out, right? The only way to get physically stronger is if you, again, put that weight and work that muscle daily or every other day. Same with our faith, same with the spiritual man. If we're not feeding our spiritual man, if we're not feeding our faith, then we're feeding something else, and we are not able to withstand the storms of life. So get this, make sure that your scripture game is up. Listen, your tool belt, again, of scriptures, they build up your faith. They affirm what God has already confirmed about you. Listen to that. They affirm. You're affirming yourself. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am first and not the last. I am the head and not the tail. I am God's workmanship. God will do a new thing in me. I'm his daughter. And so you are just affirming the things that God has already confirmed in you to withstand the storm, and so that you can emerge having vitality, and that you can emerge and developing your mind is being strengthened. All right. Last point. Eagles nurture their young ones. So let me say this. For me, I took this as God nurturing us or working on us, right? And so what that says is, when an eagle nurtures their young ones, just like God is our father, he nurtures us in order to make it through life's biggest storms. God, and just like the eagle, is the most gentle, attentive to their young. Eagles are the most attentive and gentle to their young. So this is how it happens. So Merlin Cherry, I'm sorry. So she says, when the mother eagle sees that time has come for to teach the eaglets to fly, she gathers an eaglet onto her back and spreading her wings flies high. So the mama eagle goes up as high as she can. Suddenly, she swoops out from under the eaglet and allows it to fall. So imagine that. Have you felt like you've been falling lately? That God has just left you in the wind and that you're falling. Listen, if we're like eagles, which God compares us to eagles, the eagle, as it falls, it gradually learns, the baby eaglet learns what its wings are for until the mother catches it once again. The process is then repeated. Oh, God. So have you ever felt that God has left you like you're falling, like everything is falling apart? Life is not coming together. Life is falling apart. You wake up one day, this is going on. If it ain't one thing, it's another. It's like you feel like Satan is attacking you day after day, night after night, problem after problem. You get up in the morning, the kids ain't right. You go to work ain't right. You got people fighting people on your job. Listen, it says the process is repeated. If the eaglet is slow to learn or cowardly, so that says if we're slow to learn, if we keep making the same mistake, if we're not wanting to fly on our own, God returns us to the nest. And then the mother eagle begins to tear the nest apart until there is nothing left. Oh my God. And the eaglet has nothing to cling to. Oh, Jesus. Have you feel like God has stripped you? He's taken away a job. He's taken away a spouse. You've lost your mother. You lost your father, sister, brother. He's just stripped you until you felt like you had nothing left. Money is gone, financially in ruins. You had to claim bankruptcy. But it says that she nudges the eaglet off the cliff. May I suggest that God is saying, even though you think you can't handle this storm, you can, because I built you. I put purpose in you. And you can withstand life's biggest storms. He is saying, it may feel like I'm taking things from you, but I'm not. It's only to make you uncomfortable, for you to rely solely on me to make it through and glide through this storm. But in order for you to grow, I had to take the things away. I had to remove the material possessions. I had to remove the person who you were physically dependent upon to reach your destiny. I have to let you know that you may not feel ready, right? But you are ready. You were built for this. God is saying you were built to glide through this big storm of your life. And I want you to know that He is there for you. Even in the midst of your storm, you were meant to soar. I want to leave you with this verse. Psalms 46:1. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Psalms 55:22. Cast your cares on the Lord and He will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. Psalms 56:3-4. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you, in God, whose word I praise. In God I trust and am not afraid. Listen, family, my highly intentional tribe, I want you to know that you were meant to soar like an eagle. It says, for they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. I want you to know that you were meant to soar through life's biggest storms. May you always be believing so that you may always be receiving. And may you always let love be your guide in life today, forever, and always. And I pray that you would heal yourself, grow yourself, and love yourself. Until next time, I'll see you in the next show. Bye.